If you don't want us from the tax administration to disturb you, just go into farming.
So young people, you heard it right here on Tax Gauge. I'm saying it again.
Yeah.
Go into
just
agriculture.
Go into farming. Yeah.
Is it just agriculture? When the federal government passes a massive economic policy like the new Nigerian Tax Act, it often sounds like a Abuja grammar to a young entrepreneur in Jos. But there is a crucial legal process that has to happen before those federal promises actually mean anything to your business on the ground. It is called domestication. What does domestication of this new tax act actually mean to you in your state? Is it going to unlock the tax reliefs and shields you've been promised? Or is it just going to give the local tax offices a new roadmap to track your money? Welcome to Tax Gauge. I remain your host, Hallel, and today we are focusing on how these big federal laws are being brought down to our local streets. We are breaking down what domestication means for Plateau State and how it will impact your daily survival. And to discuss this with us, here in the studio is the executive chairman of the Plateau Internal Revenue Service and a member of the state economic team, Dr. Jim Wayas. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Hallel.
All right, so we'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll dive right into the conversation. Welcome back. This is Tax Gauge, and we're going right into the conversation right now. Now we are going to be talking about domestication of the new tax laws. Okay. So 2025, the new tax laws were approved and they were passed into law, and then 2026, January 1st, it was domesticated and approved for use all around Nigeria.
That's right.
So what I want to know now is, what has Plateau State done in domesticating this law for Plateau State?
Okay, so thank you very much. Now, I think we had a bit talk about around the new tax law.
Yeah.
So one of the things the new tax law did is that it reduced what we call the noisy taxes that we have around. And from the center, we could see there's a lot of consolidation. That's, if I mean center, I mean the federal government.
Yeah.
So for the federal government, there's a lot of consolidation of a lot of taxes, like the education tax, the NITEF, NEL which is also new. So many of them were consolidated into development levy at 4%, so that it become easy for you to collect, unlike what was happened before. Then, so the laws came with package of other two laws. I think the two of those laws affected us more from the state. That's the NTA, that's the Nigerian Tax Act, and the NTAA, the Nigerian Tax Administrative Act. These are the two things that have affected us. The other two, the JRB and the NRS, are for the establishment, or rather we call them the establishment laws or establishment acts. They establish the Nigerian Revenue Service and also establish the Joint Revenue Board, as it were. So for us, one of the things that we see is that the laws were there, we're not far from what we have. But again, there's a huge diversion, because the bulk of our taxes that we collect from the state are what we call pay as you earn. That's the payee on individuals. You know, a new table was completely formed, and a new activity. And one of the things about the law is the fact that this time around, it removed a lot of even corporate taxpayers out of the tax net because of threshold. And the threshold goes up. And if you remember, the law in Nigeria, based on Nigerian labor law, that the minimum wage is not taxable if you're in a corporate environment. Meaning that if you earn, before now it was 30,000, and that's why at 300,000 per annum is at zero rate. But today we have an increase in our minimum wage to 70,000. So the first 800 is at zero rate. It means it's tax free. Then again, they also brought what we call a cap for rent relief allowance.
Yeah.
Now, this rent relief allowance says that 20% of your annual rent is exempted, but at the maximum of 500,000. Let's say you are paying a rent of, let's say, 2.5 million per annum. It means that 20% of 2.5 million supposed to be your maximum cap. So at 2.5 million, probably that 500 is the cap. But if you are doing like 3 million, then it means that it's not a cap. So it's only
500.
That 500 that is rent. So if you observed, if you add zero rate of 800 plus another 500 on rent, you're already at 1.3. So anybody who earns 1.3 million per annum has no payee to pay. Okay. So if you divide that 1.3 by 12, you're talking about someone who earns 100 and something thousand. He's tax-free. Means payee, he won't pay payee. Then again, they also increase the threshold that the first 800, first 2.5, so the threshold was expanded as against what we have before. Before now, it's first 300, next 300, next 1.6. You understand? So, and you know, Nigeria operate what we call the progressive tax regime.
Yeah.
That as your tax band increases or your income increases, the percentage increases. Yeah. Right? So you need 7, 11, 15, 18, the highest is 25. 24 rather, as at that. Now the highest is 25.
Exactly.
Now, so these are some of the rearrangement that we have to focus on. And we have to domesticate it. We have to, so that our present taxpayers don't pay on the old rate, but rather pay on the new rate. And so these are some of the things we need to domesticate. Then again, there's also another path of the regulation that the Honorable Minister of Finance have sent in for all the states to domesticate them. And that have captured a lot of revenue from that of the local government. And the idea is that they want to collapse, because there are some taxes that we cannot collect them now. I'll give you instance, slaughter slab. Who goes to slaughter slab and slaughter animal? We just go at the back of our door, we just cut the animal and...
but they have those that in the market that do slaughter, so doesn't it apply to them?
Do you know how much is the rate for a slaughter slab? 20 naira, 30 naira. Oh. Is that realistic? Okay. You understand? So these noisy tax are off, bicycle tax. In a country, in a civilized country, they are encouraging citizens to drive bicycle. A country like Netherlands, even the prime minister have bicycle. In fact, one of the most luxurious things for you to have is bicycle to encourage well-being. You understand? Then Nigeria still have bicycle tax, wheelbarrow tax. You understand? Radio tax, tax, tax. All these are noisy tax, cattle tax. When we're encouraging people to even grow more cattle, so why will you tell them to have cattle tax? You could see even globally now there's a high cost of beef because there are no cows from. So you could see, and the idea, and in the tax law is that it tries to encourage agriculture, and it says clearly in the tax law that if you are into agricultural business for the next 5 years, you are exempted. So they give you what we call pioneer status. A pioneer status means that you pay no taxes because you are into this field.
Regardless of
how much you make out of it. So it means Nigerians have the opportunity, if you don't want us from the tax administration to disturb you, just go into farming.
So young people, you heard it right here on Tax Gauge. I'm saying it again.
Yeah.
Go into agriculture.
Farming, yeah.
Is it just agriculture?
Both. You know, the problem is, if you say agriculture, the assumption is only green farming. Okay. Agriculture does not stop at green farming.
Poultry.
Even you are doing poultry, that's animal husbandry, or you are doing crop farming. All of them are completely exempted, or they are giving, even fish farming, piggery, everything. So the idea is we are trying to encourage massive production of food. And you know, we're talking about food security globally, so we need to produce, and the laws exempt us from this kind of activity.
So in terms of domestication, are you saying right now that the Plateau state has consolidated?
Completely, we have domesticated.
And all these things are applicable in the state?
They are 100% applicable.
In the state?
In the state.
Great.
They are happy. In fact, the people are happier because now we have introduced them to a new Pandora's box that you have lesser taxes. And the truth is, we had a shock.
Okay.
That the shock happened because when, let's say, for instance, we are collecting payee of, let's say, 700 million. Now there's a shock. We are collecting about 500 and something million. And this is because a lot of threshold have been lifted up, so a lot of people have been dropped from the tax net. Not necessarily because we don't want to collect their taxes, but because they are not within the limit of taxable individual. So they cannot pay the payee because they are below the threshold. It means you are taxing poverty if you have to go and collect those ones for them. So they are exempted, and that's what the Nigerian system does.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that means young people in Plateau State are safe it's not just at the national level or only, and in Plateau State, young people in Plateau State are safe. Every
In Nigeria,
exemption-
completely.
No, I'm speaking because you're the one saying this right
Jurisdiction,
now.
that's
You're
right.
the one saying this right now, and so many people don't know this because we're under the assumption that because the new tax law has been released, everyone knows about it. But the truth is, they don't. So I'm happy that you've come on Tax Guage and you're making this clear and letting people know that for Plateau State, where you come from, you can categorically say for a fact that the new tax law has been consolidated in a way that favors Nigerians according to the new tax law.
That's right.
According to the new, and that's what people should really know about. But I also want to ask, right? So for people who are residing in Plateau State now, considering the fact that the law has been consolidated and there's a consolidated law released for Plateau State, should people bother reading the consolidated law, or should they bother reading the NTAA and NTAA?
So the first thing I will tell you that the law is the same.
Okay.
Because we only domesticated what was legislated at the center.
So there was no difference at all.
You can't divert from the different. You can't create your own law. You understand?
No, I understand, but sometimes I think the states have leeways to make certain changes to that.
Like what? That kind of changes. Now you see, that's why I said earlier that taxation is on the exclusive list. Okay. And if it's exclusive, when something is exclusive, it's not for everybody.
Okay.
You understand? So the laws are made from the center.
Okay.
So all you could do is to align with the center, and that's the domestication. You align with what happens in the federal. Right. And once you align, it means that, in fact, let me tell you, even if you go to court of law, and there's a contradiction between your law and that of the center prevails.
Okay, true. Yeah, that's.
You understand? So, and we have a lot of individuals that challenge even some of the domestications you made. They tell us, no, we've seen in this law that they fine. Let me give you an instance. Let's say the fine for late return is 100,000 for the first month. You cannot make your own 150.
No, that is crystal.
Do you understand?
That's
So
crystal.
so that's the domestication. So you must domesticate it in his words and in his spirit.
In words and
that
spirit.
you cannot alter it completely.
Okay, well, I was referring to gray areas.
Now, for gray areas, yes, you see, there are also loopholes, and we take advantage of the loopholes sometimes.
Exactly.
So let me give you instance. Like in Jos, we had a bit of uprising sometimes around April, and we know the deadline for submitting individual returns is 31st. The law sacrosanct is 31st.
March.
But we have rights as a subnational to increase the period.
Okay.
Just because we want our citizens not to be caught up with the offenses.
Okay.
But this is because we want to help our citizens. Though the center say that it's this amount.
It's this time.
Yes, it's this amount or this period, but you can now expand the period. In that regards, yes, you can have those kind of leeway and give those instances. And again, even if the law says you can do back duty for 5 years, you can decide to say that, Kai, I can't take the stress. I'll just do 3 years.
Oh, okay.
But so then, like I said, you can't even write it in your laws. The federal says 5 years, you say 3 years. You have to align with the center.
Okay, so on paper, it has to be exactly.
It's what and spirit.
Exactly what and spirit.
You remember I told you that the NTAA, the Nigerian Tax Administrative Act, also shows that we must do things the same. Whether you are in Lagos, you are in Abuja, it's the same way. In fact, even the formation of our department, our functions are the same now.
And you can say for a fact that the Plateau State Internal Revenue Service has adopted this, and all the necessary departments.
We've done that long time ago, and we've keyed into what is happening at the center, and we're going. And luckily or fortunately for us, some of the new innovations that they brought in the new tax law. Let me give you an instance. The new tax law start taxing digital economy.
Exactly.
So we could now literally see earnings even in dollars, which we've never seen before. We see earnings.
People are paying in dollars?
Yes.
I thought the law doesn't allow that.
It does. No, there's no law. You see, the problem is that there's no law that says that you must pay. If somebody works and earns in dollar, if for instance, let me take one, Meta, which is Facebook, right? Facebook have somebody who monetizes his account and he wants to make the payment. Facebook is somewhere in America, don't know our denominations. But because you force the person to provide his NIN, and the Facebook identified that his tax jurisdiction is Plateau, and he individual make the money, he sent the money to Plateau. And he sent it in dollar account. So it's there for you to exchange it in dollar exchange and have it in Naira.
But can an individual come and file in foreign currency?
If he does business in foreign currency and he feels you want to file, we have a dollar account, so we give you a dollar account, you make the payment.
No, I'm not referring to the payment. I mean filing. Like
He can
his
file
record,
in
his
dollar.
records.
Yes, he can file if that is the language he understands. We allow you to file in any currency of your choice. Remember, in the FRS, in the Nigerian Revenue Service, they have 3 dominant currencies that they file in.
Okay.
They file in pounds, they file in dollar, they file in yen. So whichever currency, if I use euro, so they find it in the currency that is convenient to whichever.
To you.
Because they do international business. But remember today that even work is not based on jurisdiction. Work space does not have jurisdiction problem. Like you can be here in Abuja, but yet you are working for one tech company.
Sure.
If they are submitting their return, where will you go to?
Sure.
To come to Abuja.
Okay, so you can file in any currency.
Yes, you can file in any
currency that you receive your
In fact, very soon we'll start collecting cryptocurrency, not only naira.
Oh, this is very beautiful. It's happening right here on Tax Guage. I remain your host, Hallel Rain, and you're headed right here. Well, no matter the currency you earn in, you pay your tax in that currency. It's possible. Plateau State is doing it. Nigeria is doing it. You too can do it. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about double taxation. We'll be right back. So we've been having a very interesting conversation, and now we're going to jump into double taxation. So, Doctor, when we talk about double taxation, before the new tax laws and now with the new tax law, starting obviously before the new tax law, what was this whole concept of double taxation? And with this new tax law, does it still exist or has it been extinguished?
Okay, so double, I don't think it's even double. We call it multiple taxation.
Okay.
Because if double is 2, multiple is many.
Yeah.
So across jurisdiction, we have that issue of multiple taxation. So let me give you an instance. We have the Federal Inland Revenue Service in one hand, which is now the Nigerian Revenue Service. We have the state IRS. Then we also have the local government.
Okay.
And each of these 3 tiers of government have different kind of tax component they collected. That sometimes you discover that the state is collecting its own revenue. The local government come and collect the same revenue.
Yeah.
Yes, and then sometimes a very clear example is what I gave earlier. That the Federal Inland Revenue then was collecting VAT, value added tax. Lagos collecting both consumption tax. Now, value added tax and consumption tax are literally like the same thing because all of them derived from consumption. That's another form of double taxation. So what the new tax law did to us is that it clearly separates what jurisdiction this kind of taxes are at, then what kind of taxes you're supposed to collect, and also stipulates clearly, because there are issues that even between us, internal revenue services across the state, we have issue of which one is the original tax payer's resident, because individual tax payment is based on residence.
Exactly.
So I give you an instance. You have an intern worker. An intern worker is somebody who does not reside in one place for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe he resides in Jos for 6 months. He moved to Abuja for another 3 months. He moved to. Then the question is that where would he pay or remit his taxes? So the law also made it clearly that this time around, anybody that spent up to 180 days in a particular location, then that is now his tax jurisdiction, or that is now his state. If you've been watching TV very well, there's a case of Shakira and the Spanish country. That Shakira was saying that she was billed to be stayed in Spain.
Okay.
But she said that she have not stayed the reasonable period of time in Spain, but they taxed her and said that her jurisdiction is Spain. Because she was married to Gerard Piqué and is a footballer, he have moved to Camp Nou and things like that. So it is still, till today, is one of the most celebrated cases in terms of tax jurisdiction. So even within us, from Taiwan Tax Authority, you see that Plateau will collect, Bauchi will go and collect. So that is a clear case of double taxation. And there's also a case of multiple taxation. Let me give you an instance. You have a truck that picks goods, or let's say farm produce from Jos and is going to Lagos. Now this truck is supposed to pay what we call haulage fee then. And haulage fee only says that from the point of loading and the point of loading.
Offloading.
That's why you pay. So if they charge you at Jos, where you are going to Lagos, they will split the money, for instance. But now, any state he passes through, you see this non-state also stop him and collect money. You see, so this is a clear case of multiple taxation. Until today, these things is still on the road. The new tax law have killed these road taxes, but the people that benefit or use or work under it are still on the roads. And if you remember, just recently, the Commissioner of Police said they are going to, the IG of Police said they are going to unbundle and dismantle all checkpoints. Because these are where they used to perpetrate those kind of instances.
Yeah.
So, and you remember, if truck leaves Jos, he must pass more than 3 to 4 or 5 states before he gets to Lagos.
Exactly.
Depending on the location you follow. Imagine each state is collecting 25,000 per that truck. At Jos, he collect, he come to Nasarawa, he collect, he come to Abuja, Kogi, he collect, go to Lokoja, go to Lorry, so it keeps collecting. This is a clear case of multiple taxation. But as it were now, the new tax law had made it easy. In fact, this time around, they are using devices that at the point of loading, if they charge you, they will split the money at the point of loading. So even if you arrive at Lagos, nobody will collect college fee again. It will be split. And these are some of the things that the new tax law have done. So multiple taxation is going into its minimal. I think, in fact, as far as I'm concerned, the tax law have killed it. Particularly, let me give you instance, the one that we're having even at the state. Now, in the state, we have what we call ground rent, we have what we call property tax, we have, that's at the state level.
Yeah.
Then at the local government, they have what they call tenement rate.
Okay.
Now, the question there is that all of them has to do with the building. So why is it that so many other actors, both the states and the local government, going after that? And if that taxpayer pays the local government and pays the state, this is a clear case of double taxation. So now there's a regulations that try to arise. It's called under land use charge and other land use charge under property tax. That if state collects the property tax on behalf of the local government, there's a sharing formula that goes to the local government as their tenement rate instead of collecting this multiple taxation. So these are some of the things the new tax law have come to kill multiple taxation. But let me also be frank to say that most of the taxation that people are paying, we are actually not double taxation. You are actually paying to non-state actors.
Could you give us
so let me explain. Now, if I say you are paying to non-state actors, you are paying to people that have taken the form of government, as if they are government, as if you are paying to government. They are not. So let me give you instance. Aguero, yes. Now let me give you instance. If you go to somewhere around Apo, you see keke. Then you see one guy with a peep collecting money from those keke. The small understanding you have is that it's government. You are paying levy to government. Yeah, come on, you are paying to a non-state actor. These people are collecting, are devolving the citizens, and it's assumed it's taxes. If you ask any keke rider today, he tell you that he pay tax every day because of that levy. Probably it's only for their union or their association. And the FCT administration does not know anything about where and what that money is going to. So these are some of the clear cases of this. Remember also the issue of park and pay. There are so many issues of multiple taxation to non-state actors. Even this one that I talked about, that the road taxes that they pay on haulage and haulage fee, all these ones are mounted by non-state actors. And the reason is that most of the state actors cannot be in the road in the night.
Yeah.
Imagine you're working hours 8 to 5. Will you now go and resume another work 10 to 6 a.m.? You wouldn't. So you see, so the non-state actors take advantage of that. And they collect the money. And the trucks prefer to drive in the night because there's less traffic. So you see, in fact, let me even give you an instance. I have a registered number of vehicles in the state. But as of today, I was telling them that how comes we have about over 1.5 million registered vehicles. We've not collected, half year into the year, we've not collected up to 100,000 vehicles registration. It means there's a problem. Now, we realize that some of the gimmicks is that the people don't come out, or if they come out before 6, because the authorities resume work by 8, are closed by 5. So they go out and enjoy themselves. By 6 p.m., they drive back to the house. So who sees them? You know, so you see, for the work of taxation, is like a monkey trick. You must learn the trick of a monkey, how to jump from one tree to the other. So every day we keep learning on their tricks. So what we're doing in Jos now is that we're going to mount a joint patrol with both the police, the civil defense, the road safety, the vehicle inspection officer, and our staff.
Okay.
Yes, and so if that happens, that joint operation will limit or reduce those people that are running from paying what they are supposed to pay as it were. And again, so you see, there's a lot of collaborations that you need to do. So we need to have a flagship system whereby the system is smarter and see that this person have not registered, it flags it up and will follow up with it. But you see, so every day we learn, then every day we keep building the system in order the system to assist us in doing our work. Then sometimes I tell them that we must also learn to reach out to the taxpayer. Your papers have expired. It doesn't take 10 minutes call. Yeah, I mean 10 seconds call. Your paper has expired. We're expecting to come and renew. You understand? I have a system that sends a text message 1 week before the expiration. And you know the good things about like your driver's license, it expires on your birthday. How I wish the vehicle particulars should be expiring on somebody's birthday, so that you know if there's any day you will never forget, it's the day you are born. Yes. So and their driver's license usually expired on your birthday. I think the person that created for the road safety is a forward-thinking person that looks at it. And so these are some of the things that innovation that we need to bring into the tax net, that will look at significant dates where those things cannot change, where those things are very precious to you. Then we'll tell you that. That's why today, if a road safety catch you say, but you know that your driver license expire on your birthday. You should have renewed before the next birthday and things like that. So these are some of the things that we need to key in. As simple as it is, it makes a lot of difference.
So, Doctor, you've actually peeped into the next question and the next question, but just in clear terms, what exactly in your office are you doing? You know, you're the executive chairman, Plateau State Internal Revenue Service, and from what you're saying and from what we have seen, you are doing a lot in domestication of the new tax law and in making sure that the new tax law takes full effect in Plateau State. So in clear terms, what are you doing to ensure that people do not fall victim to these non-state actors that you made mention of? Because the truth is, you're very correct. Most of the issues of double taxation, multiple taxation are caused by non-state actors. So what exactly are you doing as the executive chairman? Collaborations with the force, people in the force. What are you doing exactly to ensure that non-state actors are thrown off the streets, off this whole ecosystem?
All right, so the first thing I will say is this. Once you fight corruption, corruption will fight back.
Okay.
So I've been fighting them for the past 3 years, about 3 years now. They have also been fighting back. Yes, they will fight back. You know, one of the things we had done in Plateau State is that we blocked leakages.
Okay.
And one of the leakages that we blocked, we disallowed non-state actors to take the form of government.
Exactly.
And again, we removed issue of consultancies, that every little thing, there's a consultant doing it. And the consultant mounts people that are not government officials, and they are collecting it. They make the work of a taxation become a toggery and a touty. So, and one of the things we did is to block that. We stopped that. And again, we also do with the law enforcement agency, we are partner in progress. All of us are state actors. All of us has a stake in the state. And so we partner with them to fight these people. But let me tell you, they would never relent, because some of them feel they're too big. Some of them feel that they have one politician or they have one emir or one chief somewhere that they feel they can destroy a system. And I tell them one thing, is that you can never fight a state. They say there are 3 Gs you can never fight. You cannot fight God, you cannot fight government, you cannot fight grace.
Interesting.
These 3 Gs, you cannot fight them. Okay. So I always tell them that.
Interesting. So, doctors, we draw the curtain right here because we have to wrap this session up. It has been a very interesting session, but we have to draw the curtain. So, what would you tell a young person who has listened to your very interesting conversation to do now to become tax compliant? And I know it has to do with your technology-based system. Could you throw more light on that so they know what they need to do now to be tax compliant? So
first, to be tax compliant, you must first register. So once you're registered, you can just go to our website, www.platostate.psirs.gov.ng, or you can just check us on www.platoigr.com. Any of these two will link you to a place where you can register by yourself. Self-registration. You issue your tax certification number, validate with your NIN, and also with your phone number and valid email address to send to you. That is the first point. Then again, always go to our website to ask questions. There's a smart chat there that can chat and tell you everything that you need to know. Then again, for you to take benefit of what we're doing, even for the orientation, is that come to us or reach out to us through any of our platform. We are going to listen to you, guide you on what you should do. And let me tell you, the tax authority does not steal money from you. They help you direct even your business in the path of growth and recovery, in case if you are falling, then again, the tax authority will also guide you in other viable businesses that you should do. Because we're interested in your progress, because once you progress, then the state progresses. Once you make money, then the state also make money. And that's the whole idea about what we're doing. And technology have been helping us to do that. You can do it at the comfort of your home. We have a chat box on our WhatsApp, very intelligent. Ask any question, it leads you, can even generate you your team from that WhatsApp platform. Maybe I'll share the number, then you can share it at the screen after this. So these are some of the things we're doing. But by and large, I would tell young entrepreneur, young business people coming up, come and register for tax. It helps you. It makes and gives your business credibility. It gives your business visibility. It's also not only that, it shows that you are a responsible citizen. Somebody somewhere can now handle a bit of responsibility to you because you are responsible in one area. And that's the truth. And globally, business looked at what are your tax compliance indices are. If you are tax compliant, you know that this is a responsible business. If you are not, I know that this is not an irresponsible business. So I would advise you that come and do business with us. Come and register your taxes with us and your businesses with us. Then we guide you as well as what to do. And you will never regret it. And your business will grow from that table business to a multinational business. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jim Palm Wayas. It was a pleasure having you on Taxes.
Thank you.
So much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So to our viewers out there, the laws are changing fast, and ignorance is not an excuse. Know your thresholds, understand presumptive tax, and demand accountability for the taxes you pay in your state. Join the conversation online using the hashtag TaxGuage. And follow all our social media handles as displayed on your screen. Keep up with the conversation. Be abreast with what is happening in the whole tax ecosystem. For us and TaxGuage, we draw the curtain right here. And I remain your host, Hallel. Keep your gauge accurate. Bye for now.